Hey gamers, it's G from the corner, and welcome back to the third and final review for Pikmin Week. Today we are going to be looking at the most recent mainline entry in the Pikmin series at the time of this recording, Pikmin 3. The game was released on the Wii U in 2013, about 9 years after Pikmin 2 came out. There was a bit of build-up and anticipation. It was going to be out on Wii, it was going to be out soon, but no, that didn't quite happen. It took quite a bit to come out, and honestly, I would say, wow, that was a big deal, but same thing basically happened with Pikmin 4, where nearly, 2 years after the third game came out, Miyamoto was already talking about how the game was done, and lo and behold, it took 10 years after Pikmin 3 came out to finally see the light of day. But I'm not talking about Pikmin 4 today. Today we're talking about Pikmin 3, available on both the Wii U and Nintendo Switch. Of course, I've been playing the Deluxe version for this review, and yeah, I think we should just get right into things, honestly. So Pikmin 3 kicks off amidst a new cast and a new crisis. There is apparently a famine going on, a food shortage, in the planet Kopai, which is different from the previous planet we've been looking at, Hawkatate, from the previous two games. 3 explorers, Alf, Brittany, and Charlie from the planet have been sent to the planet of the Pikmin to retrieve some food for their planet, but alas, they crash land and are separated. So, as I mentioned, there are 3 captains in this game now, Alf, Brittany, and Charlie, all new characters, and there is so much more strategy to their movement this time around. Instead of in previous games where you only had 1 captain or 2 captains who would just kind of be sitting around waiting, you can now order commands for each of the captains to do. You could have Charlie over and by the onions, plucking all the Pikmin out. You could have Brittany taking all the Pikmin over to some spot where a fruit or some puzzle is, while you're playing as Alf, running around exploring the area trying to find fruit. It is amazing. The level of strategy present in Pikmin 3 is incredible. I'm not the biggest strategy guy in the world, obviously, but, I can obviously respect how amazing this level of just planning you're allowed to do is. Honestly, it is phenomenal, really. But yeah, no, alongside these new characters, we also have some new Pikmin. The purple and whites are no longer present in the main campaign, only present in the side content, which I will get into much later. But this time around, we are given the winged and rock Pikmin. The rock Pikmin they're strong like the purples, but they don't latch on to enemies, but they can break glass and crystal objects, which is it comes in handy. There's glass barriers that need to be broken by them, and, crystal rocks come on quite often, so I think they are a pretty useful addition to the game. They also cannot be crushed, so definitely going against some enemies shooting boulders out of their nostrils with them. And then there are the winged Pikmin, which, once again, are kind of supplementary. They have a very light attack stat, and they are a bit of a pain to control in some occasions, but they are able to carry things over objects. So let's say you want to get a fruit back to your ship, you can just chuck them at it and not have to worry about creating a path for them. They can just fly over everything, even water, which once again, only the blue Pikmin can access. Kind of making them a little bit useless in this game, but there are still quite a few treasures that are just found underwater. It's not treasures, fruit that are still found underwater. So it's fine. The winged Pikmin aren't honestly my favorites to use because of their weak nature and because they can be a bit finicky with trying to attack ground enemies, but you know what? They serve their purpose very well, especially during some boss fights, because yes, now, that's the thing. Caves are gone. Caves are once again gone, but in exchange, the areas are much bigger than they ever have been before. There's multiple different, nooks and crannies and caverns that you will explore as you're going through these areas. And each area kind of has a central boss where you will kind of stumble upon an area and be like, hey, this is a boss arena. Let me fight the boss here, right? And there's I guess 4, technically 5, because there is still, once again, a final 5th area in the game, but, it's more so it literally is just an area to fight the final boss. Really, there is nothing else to it. Another thing that has obviously changed about Pikmin 3 is that you are no longer collecting treasures like you were in Pikmin 2. As I've mentioned a few times now, there are now fruits to collect. So, here's the thing. There is a new day limit placed again. It's not a strict 30-day time limit, and it's not a no day limit like in Pikmin 2, but Instead, as you collect fruit, you are given a supply. So while it can feel more intense than ever before, it is very easy to rack up enough fruit to be a good 10 or so days out from dying every so often, really. It's honestly, it seems very daunting, and it creates this good artificial stress where it's like, oh no, I have to do well, otherwise like I am going to lose the game, and I'm going to, my planning better be on point for this this playthrough. But really, it's not that hard. It's very easy to make sure you are stocked up on enough fruit. There's different types of fruit. I don't think there's any sort of comments in a Piclopedia about each type of fruit, but they all look very nice. That's another thing, actually. The game, obviously going from GameCube and Wii graphics to Wii U and Switch graphics, the game looks incredible. They try and go for a super, super photorealistic style, and everything looks all slimy and textury. There's so much to it, honestly. I'm shocked how good the game looks, really. I mean, seriously, I am shocked how good the game looks. I play the game and I'm like, wow, this is extremely pretty for a game that came out 10 years ago now. I can't believe we're at the point where looking back that far yields pretty great results, especially from Nintendo. They were really trying to show off the power of the Wii U back then, of course, when it was, you know, it was already going to be undercut in like a few months by the PS4 and Xbox One. Very, very good to see how good the game just looks nice. It looks very nice and clean. The music is great too. You know, it's your usual Pikmin fare, very atmospheric stuff. I can't really compare it to the. I mean, like, it's, you know, the sound quality, the sound effects, the MIDIs are very much higher than they were in previous games. I'm not sure if there's any real instruments being used or not, but it is very, very good stuff regardless. And the length of the game. Good mid-ground between Pikmin 1 and 2. It's not as short as Pikmin 1, but Pikmin 2 you could have easily spent like 20 hours in if you wanted to. And I mean, granted, that it's fun having a longer Pikmin game, but Pikmin 3 I think has enough side content to really make up for it. And yeah, I guess I should get into that, the side content. So first up we have mission mode, basically kind of the same as challenge mode, except instead of going for like doing a specific challenge, you are trying to kind of just see how much you can collect or how many enemies you can defeat in an area in a certain amount of time. It's a fun mode. I like it. You know, it's not the best in the world. Sometimes it changes how many Pikmin and what kind of Pikmin you have depending on the stage. All the stages, well, most of the stages anyway, are not ripped from the story mode. They're all brand new. There's one that is straight up a recreation of the Forest Navel. There's this amazing Christmas-themed area where you're running across a table at Christmas time, and there's gifts and food everywhere. It's amazing. I love it. There's one that's like a 2D side-scrolling kind of deal, which is very odd. It's a very experimental mission mode, and I kind of like it. And of course, this is where the whites and purples come back. And yeah, they're the whites and purples. They play just as they always did. I think there might be a few changes diehards will know about that I might have missed. Overall, pretty alright mission mode, but where the game really shines, once again, Bingo Battle. I don't think it's as good as Pikmin 2's battle mode, but it is still very, very fun. This time, instead of just trying to collect marbles, you are each given a bingo card of objects and enemies, and essentially what you want to do is you want to get a line. You want to get a bingo on the card. So, okay, let me collect this enemy and this enemy and this enemy. Once again, you also still have the cherries, which will drop different power-ups, different effects, different other things that'll hinder the other team or improve your team's standings. Maybe it'll take away a marker on the other team and they'll have to collect the object again or something. There's a bunch of different ones. Honestly, super fun battle mode, and there's a bunch of stages as well. A bunch of great stages. I enjoy it. I enjoy both battle modes quite a bit, honestly. It's pretty neck and neck, depending on which one I like more. Really, it depends on the mood of the party I'm with. But yeah, all great stuff. However, new to the Switch version of the game are the side stories. So later in the plot, you find out Olimar is involved. He crash landed a while ago, and such happened. But you will get to play as Olimar before and after the events of Pikmin 3 in these side stories. And I mean, it's kind of just more mission mode, honestly. It's more remixed regular game stages with new music, and you get to play as Olimar and Louie. You can play it entirely in co-op, and you can also play the entire main game in co-op. I kind of forgot to mention that. That is a super, super cool feature they added in the Switch version. I have not really taken advantage of it, but it's super cool that it's there. The side stories, it's just extra content. There's nothing really harmful about any of it. It's not amazing, but you know, it's not terrible either. But yeah, Pikmin 3. I, once again, highly recommend this one. It's not available, obviously, in the Pikmin 1 and 2 bundle, but it is on Switch as Pikmin 3 Deluxe. It is a very, very good game, very much worth it, just like the other two. I'd recommend, if you're just starting out with Pikmin, Not sure if I recommend this over the first two. I mean, the first two are right there and they are budget price. So, you know, maybe you want to try those, or maybe you want to wait for Pikmin 4. Definitely not Hey Pikmin. I don't think that's where you're going to get your start. Maybe you're a mobile gamer. Maybe you're playing Pikmin Bloom. Okay, the point is, Pikmin 3, great game. Highly, highly recommended. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Stay tuned for more Pikmin Week content. We aren't done just yet. We got a few more videos coming out for you guys. And I hope you all keep yourselves cornered. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.